Black coffee, I'm in trouble. Black coffee, I see double. Skibbat, skiddly, skiddly, bat doody. How am I to get home? Black coffee, I'm so dizzy. Black coffee, please get busy.
Hey, thanks, Kendall. Appreciate it.
Help me so I can get home.
Hey, guys, welcome to Photo Coffee. We're here live at Perfect Blend. Master of Photography, Mr. Patrick Lynch, is with us today. I'm Chris Allred. Good to have you with us. And wow, it's been a week, hasn't it?
At least. I think we skipped a week because I was under the weather.
You were under the weather, and in the last 4 days we've had snow, 74 degrees of beautiful sunshine for 2 days, and today it's 55 and rainy. So here we are in beautiful uptown Lexington, North Carolina. And in North Carolina this time of year we have all the seasons in basically a week. So it's been that way. Hey, let's talk some photography. It's kind of random photography today. We'll let you fill in the blank on that one.
So we're going to make something up?
We can make something up. But, you know, there was something that was said recently, and you and I discussed it. It was, what is street photography? And I know you have an opinion on that.
I do have opinions on that. Whether I'm qualified to or not, I don't know. Because I'm no street photographer.
Okay.
But I definitely have my ideas on it. And I recently saw a contest somebody was running on, and the theme was street photography. And I like to look at the entrance, you know, the ones that they show, and take a look at the pictures. And most of what I saw, I wouldn't consider street photography. And I think probably since the onset of digital, the idea of what street photography is has really changed. Okay. And you know, with the ease of digital photography, I think people got a little lazy with street photography. And I think the best way to start explaining what street photography is, from my perspective and the way that I learn, is to explain what it isn't. And a lot of what I see is photography done on the street. Just because you grab your camera and you go walk the street, that's not street photography. That's photography on the street. A lot of it that people are saying, they're street photographers, they're doing street portraits, which is, a form of street photography, but it's still not pure street photography. Street photography isn't walking down Main Street and taking a picture of the fire hydrant or, a shop window. Street photography needs to tell a story. And you know me, I have, kind of an obsession with, having highlight detail and shadow detail in your images. With street photography, that can go out. What you're looking for is you're looking for a story. You're looking for contradictions in a scene. You want an image that shows the unusual, or something thought-provoking, or storytelling. Even if you can't quite put your finger on that story, the image has to hold the attention and not just be a pretty picture of something on the street.
You and I were shooting, it's been probably a year ago, and we went out and we were walking downtown, and there was a gentleman who was coming down the block, and you made the point of talking to him.
Yes.
And then you took a picture of him from behind, and I love the image. And but this gentleman, he immigrated to the United States. He was very, very happy to be an American.
Yes.
And he showed it by his tattoos on his head.
Right.
It's a phenomenal image. I love the image. Is that street photography?
Well, that's on the edge of street photography. You mentioned that I talked to the guy.
Yeah.
You got to admit, you saw the guy. Did you want to talk to him?
Well, yeah. When I first met him, and I actually knew who he was, and I've talked to him several times. In the beginning, yes, he was. No, the answer would be no, probably.
Yeah, I think.
But I had the opportunity to meet him before that, and so yeah, he's a nice guy.
Super guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed talking to him, and I enjoyed a little bit of the story that he got. But the neat thing about it was I think he had USA tattooed across the back of his bald head, and freedom, and clearly loved America. And he's on Main Street, Lexington.
Yeah.
So him looking down the street, all the shops, there was a little bit of maybe a social contrast there, definitely a little bit of a story there. But you mentioned that I talked to him. I talked to him, and I asked him if I could take his photo. That image, viewing it, you could say is street photography. Me knowing my process, I would consider it a street portrait.
Okay.
Now, if I followed him and just, looked for that moment, that would have been street photography.
I know that I've watched and have seen plenty of videos and tutorials on street photography and standing in one spot and capturing, somebody walking by. I think Evan Rant, the Ramp that's on YouTube, has done a great job of showing in Atlanta, standing in a spot and capturing a person in a shadow that's telling a story. All that's great. But when you're in a town like Lexington, what you see is a lot of great architecture, some really cool windows, and you see people walking around just taking shots. If it's that cool window, and I think you were in like Winston the other day and took a picture of some shots downtown.
I do a lot of shooting in Winston. It's not street photography.
That's
it's photography
more
on the street.
Photography on the street and more architectural in nature
Right.
than it is
Yep.
what's really street photography. So how do we, how would you, if somebody came to you and said, I want to get into street photography, what do you tell them?
Learn what it is first. Look, you can find really good current street photographers, I think. I can't name any. I see work, I like it, I move on. But you can look for the film days, look for the street photographers of the past. What you're looking for and what you're learning to do is finding those fleeting moments. They're constantly out there, but they're fleeting. So it takes some pre-visualization. It may take some zone focusing. Usually a semi-wide, no more than a normal lens, I would say. Usually a little bit wide for street photography is good. You stop down to f/16, learn to shoot from the hip, because you're looking for those passing moments, and you don't want to obviously be out there, doing photos, influencing the scenes. You're looking for the scenes and you're capturing them, but they're in motion. They're not stagnant scenes.
Yeah. I think that we've been out numerous times, just walking down the street, and you kind of get complacent. I think at times we start to think that we're out walking town and we're doing street photography. It's an interesting debate as to, in a way, as to what street photography is and is not. But I know that sometimes just taking out the old film camera versus the digital camera is a lot of fun, just walking around town. So I don't want to discourage anybody from actually going in your town or city nearby, whatever, just walking around and taking images.
I do it all the time.
I do it all the time. There's
Yeah.
a lot of fun in just taking really simple images, but can create some really nice images just around town. What are some of your favorite things to shoot when you're in a town or in a city that's... And I've seen so many things.
Lexington is tough.
Yeah.
I think, looking for the architecture is definitely a thing around here. Winston, there's more people walking around, and there's more city, so there's more to work with.
Right.
So I find myself there more often.
Because this is a small town.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, we find neat compositions with trees growing on rooftops. With a white puffy cloud overhead. A photo I did the other day in Winston was just old analog parking meters with a car zooming by. I kind of like that.
I know we've been out in several more older industrial areas.
Yes.
Lots of great shapes, shadows, contrast, all variety of things.
Grunge,
Yeah,
industrial
you can
grunge,
shoot.
love that.
One of the cool things about, I think, shooting on the street is that you can shoot all day long.
Yeah,
There's always something. The shadow might be.
it's always changing.
It's always changing. So the light changes, the shadows change, the contrast changes, everything kind of changes as the time goes. So it's a lot of fun to shoot in town.
Yeah, film or digital.
Film
Either
or
one.
digital.
Doing both.
Well, guys, that's kind of the long and the short of it for today. This has been another episode of Photo Coffee from the Faux Bros. Patrick Lynch, Chris Allred. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Black coffee, I'm in trouble. Black coffee, I see double. Skibidi, skiddy, skiddly, doody. How am I to get home? Black coffee, I'm so dizzy. Black coffee, please get busy. Skibidi, squiddy, skiddly, doody. Help me so I can get home.